Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to
Kendrick Lamar Tried to Warn Us.
Last record that made you feel like the energy of Not Like Us? Have we had a hip hop record since then?
It seems like every single year that passes, the hip hop genre continues to decline, especially for the mainstream.
Yo, all of you are unoriginal. Every one of y'all is making the same thing. There's no new ideas, no new concept, there's no new sound. It's the same. It's all the same.
Right? It's literally like almost every mainstream rapper that put out an
I don't know
album this year,
this
you could argue put out
podcast.
the worst
I don't
album
know
of
this
their career.
one.
Like it's like fall off after fall off.
It might be hard to believe now, but there was once a time where being a rapper seemed like one of the coolest jobs on earth. Infinitely cool, charismatic, and larger than life itself, but kind of remote and untouchable as if they existed in their own universe. Becoming a rapper was something inspirational for the common urban kid to dream of, but never think of reaching. From stories of Jay-Z being so supremely talented that he didn't need to write down a single verse, to 50 Cent's story of being shot 9 times only to survive and take over hip-hop, there was a genuine feel that becoming a rap superstar was not for mere mortals. Now, they've become a sad, dated, unfunny joke without a punchline. Fuel for 1,000 memes on the internet, mocked and belittled for their clumsy attempts to preach, pander, and carry favor with the very people they look down on. Their flaws, shortcomings, and insecurities have never been so clear for the world to see. Take the big three. Let's not forget Kendrick laid his entire soul bare and told the world that he was not our savior on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Then, in 2024's Watch the Party Die, he doubled down, proclaiming that hip-hop had to be torn apart and rebuilt from the ground up. And by 2025, on the Clips' Chains and Whips, he didn't hold back, spitting, "Let's be clear, hip-hop died again." Meanwhile, J. Cole has specifically made a point of shedding every bit of his superstar status in order to bike around New York like a Deliveroo driver, all the while seemingly planning his exit from the game with the Fall Off album. Then we have Drake, who's found himself in a unique spot where he's constantly having his dirty laundry aired out in public, with his interactions on the internet proving that he's every bit as petty, vindictive, and in need of validation as anyone else. All the while, his every attempt to generate a hit has seemingly failed to resonate with audiences like it once used to. From Lil Wayne staining his legendary Carter series with the Carter 6, to Joey Badass underperforming commercially resulting in the cancellation of his tour, to Young Thug delivering what might go down as one of the worst comebacks in hip-hop history, the point is clear. The whole cult of musicians that used to be such a big, powerful part of our culture really feels like it's dying out these days. But to be honest, it's kind
that's
of inevitable that
tough.
this is going to happen sooner or later, because the world
I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels this way, because I've been saying that.
we live in is changing, and so is the way we see entertainers. So what exactly happened? Well, let's start with the most important factor, and that's aura. This is the air that rappers used to carry, which made them easy to idolize. They didn't seem like they'd gone through the same process of growing up as we all did. Instead, it felt like they came out fully formed as these special identities. And when you did hear of their backstories, it was easy to see why. You had people like Lil Wayne, who'd been rapping since he was a kid and almost lost his life at his own hand with a 9mm, only for a cop to miraculously save his life, and in turn, ensure that hip-hop wasn't deprived of one of its brightest talents in history. From there, Weezy went on to become the best rapper alive, a self-proclaimed Martian who infamously discarded the rhyme book and spent the rest of his career freestyling off the dome.
What do you think happens when you die?
Much like Jay-Z, even today, he's managed to retain his status as a king among rappers, with people genuinely wondering whether they'd be better served taking a dinner with Hov over $250,000. But Wayne wasn't the only one who cheated death prior to his rap career either, because back before he was a TV tycoon, Curtis Jackson was just a rapper on the come-up who also endured a superhero origin story level of physical trauma. While attempting to evade the street life that had defined his earlier years, 50 was shot 9 times outside his grandma's house. And while his label at the time dropped him, the marketing team behind Shady Aftermath took this tale of escaping with his life and turning tragedy into triumph and made it indivisible from his rhymes. Besides that, it was parlayed into a blockbuster film, Get Rich or Die Trying, which chronicled his come up. But he wasn't the only one to get this treatment either. 50's mentor, Eminem, led the way in this regard, with 8 Mile becoming an Academy Award-winning movie, which chronicled his journey from the trailer park to acceptance in hip-hop. From Andre 3000 carrying himself like an interdimensional being from Atlanta, to Kanye surviving a car crash to prove all the naysayers wrong and become a genre-shifting superstar, there's still something about that era which is just incompatible with what we see today. Basically, artists used to have lore, or at least a sense of gravitas that meant you bought into their story, hook, line, and sinker, whereas today, that simply doesn't happen. Today, if a rapper claimed that the tragic death of their brother meant that they'd sworn revenge on hip-hop and would become its ultimate supervillain, he'd get clowned within an inch of his life. But that's basically the origin story of the masked icon MF Doom. Similarly, if a rap crew of today merged their music with a succession of clips from old kung fu movies, they'd probably be labeled as weebs or just plain old nerds. Instead, Wu-Tang Clan used their fanaticism for these old productions to make a mythology around their music, which fascinates people to this day. So what changed? For starters, back then consumers were willing to accept rappers at face value, and when it comes to how their image was managed, there was a much larger emphasis placed on creating a sense of grandiosity around everything they do. Just look at the budgets that were given for advertising and, more specifically, music videos. Back in the 90s and 2000s, acclaimed directors like Hype Williams and Chris Robinson helped to sculpt incredible visuals for rappers which would have audiences riveted from beginning to end. In one instance, Bad Boy dropped an astounding $4 million, or the budget of an entire indie film, on the video for Victory, with Puffy, Big, and Busta Rhymes, while recruiting major actors like Dennis Hopper and Danny DeVito to appear in it. And how was Puffy portrayed? As a superhuman figure, vaulting over.
That's true that the music videos nowadays are kind of whack. But
They film on iPhone.
yeah, but I don't think that's unique to hip hop though. I think overall in music videos are getting worse nowadays. But that kind of, I think, plays back to the fact that music just doesn't make as much money as it used to. Because, you know, he just said Biggie, Puff or Biggie, whoever spent $4 million on a music video because they could afford it. I think nowadays you can't afford to spend no $4 million on a music video. I never heard that. Now you get a little balloons in the background and film in your home.
Yeah.
Shout out DDG.
Over cars and running away from explosions. This was commonplace. Whether it was Missy Elliott in The Brat floating through space, Dr. Dre and Tupac existing in a Mad Max-style apocalyptic wasteland, or the Wu-Tang spraying killer bees. These motion picture-level productions were a crucial part of the puzzle of making these rappers seem like they were of incredible stature. But it wasn't the only aspect. Even when it came to commercials for records, there was an otherworldly quality in even how albums were promoted that you simply don't see today.
Kanye.
South side, outside, west side, let's ride. East side, right, east side, Lakeshore Drive, and I'm Chi-Town's finest. Where you at? The whole city behind.
Then there was their stranglehold on merchandising. Back then, major rappers could move any kind of product you put in front of them, and executives with an ear to the ground knew it. Just look at how Reebok brought 50 Cent and G-Unit on board, with the decision paying off when they basically sold as many units as some of the most popular shoes of all time.
50 was incredibly immersed in the business. Like, he came to every meeting on time, ready to go. And his first question every meeting was, how many pairs we sell this week? We were selling like, 40, 50,000 per color at a time. And he was always saying, well, how many Jordans sell this week? I remember that back to school, we sold on one color, like 75,000 pairs or something. And he was like, I told you guys. So you guys didn't believe me. You thought I was crazy. Every time I came in here, I would ask that.
Then there was the expansion into video games, which began with Wu-Tang Taste the Pain and culminated in classics
I
like Def
never
Jam
knew
Vendetta
this.
and, of course, Fight for New
Okay,
York.
I played the
Although
Def
these were
Jam.
completely dramatized, fans were willing to suspend their disbelief and accept the concept that rappers were as eligible to be in a fighting game as any WWF wrestler. Today, there's still an appetite for something like this to be made. And at the height of the Drake and Kendrick beef, there were plenty
Really?
of mods attempting to see what it'd look like if they were to square off in a console combat today. But there hasn't been a new installment in the Def Jam series since 2007. And in the interim, hip-hop has become vastly more profitable than it even was then. So what went wrong? Well, there's a lot of reasons behind it, and it all comes down to the humanization of rappers. In those days, their non-rhyme-based interactions with the public were carefully sculpted, with the only times you'd see them being when they popped up on 106 and
That's
Park or TRL
true.
to promote a
Now
music
they're
video.
readily
But now, rappers'
available on
allure has been taken
Instagram.
away from them by overexposure. Their come-up stories are chronicled online for all to see, warts and all, as to or any slip-ups they ever had, which prove that they aren't as cool as we thought they were. Then you have people like 1090 Dake and other online outlets who will demystify someone's hardened gangster image in a hail of paperwork before they ever get off the ground.
I never
It's a
heard
similar
of
downfall to what's
that.
happened with movie stars and sports superstars. When they were only exposed to us on a big screen, on the court, or in a scheduled media appearance, it was easy to buy into whatever persona they projected. This, in a nutshell, is one of the biggest problems plaguing the auras of rappers today: social media. Just look at DJ Drama, whose Gangsta Grills helped to build the mystique and myth-making around artists for years. And now he's acknowledged that the access provided by the internet hampers the ability to make rappers look like icons in real time.
Everyone says I'm done with football. They haven't met Chad Powers.
Do you feel like social media ruined hip-hop or blew its cover?
Social media might have ruined society more than hip-hop. It definitely blew its cover because it created a space where the allure of what a rap star once was isn't necessarily that no more. Social media can show the real. A lot of artists have...
I don't know if that's necessarily the issue with social media and hip-hop. I think for me, what I would classify it being an issue with social media and hip-hop is the fact that anybody can become a hip-hop artist now with social media. And a lot of it is just trash. Like back then, you kind of needed labels approval, so, or like self-fund somehow. So, okay, your music makes it. Now you don't really need that. Any trash can make it on social media if enough people like it.
Yeah.
And kids nowadays, I don't know what the fuck they be liking because that shit is garbage. So that, to me, that's the issue with social media.
shown that they're corn on the cob.
Then you have Dr. Dre, who also acknowledged that you simply can't get the same attachment to a star as you did prior to knowing everything about their lives.
I probably would have hated social media when I was coming up. There's a certain mystique that gets destroyed. I like the mystique. I like waiting. I don't need anybody to know where I am every minute or what I'm doing or what I'm about to do. There's a certain mystique that came along with music. It was entertaining to wait to see what was about to happen.
That's besides the point that it's actively destroyed careers. From Azealia Banks, perhaps, to Kanye West. The ability to convey their thoughts to the public at the drop of a hat literally ensured that however talented they may be, no one would ever take them seriously again. Then we have the counterpoint to the role that music videos used to play, and that's clout chasing. Back in the day, music...
That is so true, because that's why they say don't meet your idols, because when you actually meet them and hear them talk and their thoughts, then you're kind of like, oh, I don't like this person really. So it's that illusion of them being distant from us, unavailable from us. That's what we like, because we create like in our heads like who this person is, and they make him you make it in your head cooler than they actually are. Oh my god.
But I get that, but wouldn't that extend to like pop too? Because we don't see like the pop music suffering the same way.
Like for example,
Like
who?
Taylor Swift, like
Taylor Swift, she doesn't do interviews. She rarely, like Beyonce doesn't even put herself out there too much either. It's like
So
there's some that we respect, but the reason why we respect them because they don't give
so are you
themselves to
saying
us.
that the people that are most successful, they like still have the mystique? They're not really interacting with us?
Partly, I think so, because a lot of the ones that we consider, oh, they're A-list celebrities, are the ones that keeps their distance from us more. The one that we think, oh, this is like my cousin, like we treat them
So
like they're my
those are
cousins.
regular influencers.
Yeah, they're like you're like my brother. You're too close.
Interesting. Hadn't thought about that. That the
Mm-hmm.
mystique is.
Because Rihanna, she does make herself available, but there's like a boundary too. It's not. There's like a how much. It's like a line of how much they give.
I do think there's suspense like whenever like these like for example Eminem too, like whenever Eminem does something, it's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
you
he came
know,
out.
yeah, like he came out of his cave.
Yeah.
So that I guess that
But
is
that's
kind of
why
true,
people
though.
are starting to not take Drake too seriously because we see Drake too much. And Drake is starting to do all these podcasts and talk to all these people, and you hear his thoughts, and you're like,
Interesting. Maybe that is part of it.
Music videos and magazine covers were used to cultivate a rapper's aesthetic and persona.
like even
both
like
access to
Kanye
IG
West. I feel like Kanye West used to be like amongst the Jay-Z's, Beyonce.
Well, he
And
talked
now
too
he's
much.
like he talking too much. Now he bring him that like those people don't even talk to him. So it's like we can't even take him seriously.
Live and Twitter, rappers can now work on what they want to portray to the public at the drop of a hat. Now, in lieu of carefully orchestrated personas, we have rappers hopping on live to murmur into the camera, often intoxicated and vulnerable in ways we'd never have seen Ghostface Killah or Raekwon be back in the day. That's before we even get to rappers like Tekashi 6ix9ine, who used IG as a promotional tool and pushed the illusion that he was a gangster, so much so that he even ended up indicted on a RICO case. However, as soon as he was in real jeopardy,
First night I got locked up, I watched Lone Survivor, and I was like, I'm definitely snitching, right?
So from the jump, the jump.
today, a rapper's image can be debunked at the drop of a hat, and with prosecutors now using rap lyrics in court, they often have to dispel their own myths just to evade jail. Plus, today, any attempts to build a fantastical backstory or adopt an alter ego would be laughed at. Just look at the difference in response with Kid Buu.
Originally, my first gen. I'm a second gen now. Celebrity births say I'm born in Toronto, but that's false. My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonate in Canada. My model number is 0112568. If anyone wants to see the registration and Clonate.
Okay. As crazy as that clip seems, if that was handled in a different era or by a media team, it could have become a unique selling point akin to other famed alter egos in hip-hop. Instead, he was instantly labeled as a corny clout chaser. As a result, it's no coincidence that the rapper who has the biggest cult following today while actively evading his fans is Playboi Carti. Travis Scott has a similar aloofness, and when he attempted to shed that and open up for his Netflix documentary, it quickly became clear that he was an introverted individual and not the superstar that his music or stadium shows would lead you to believe. Besides that, even the concept of being a fan of an artist has completely changed. Back in the day, it was cool to identify yourself by your favorite artist, rep their merch, and maybe even join their street team. You'd get some Rockaware, you'd wear your G units, and maybe even some ice creams if you were a Neptunes fan. Today, however, that sort of fandom would likely lead to you being told that you were D-riding or glazing. But all of these external factors are contributing factors to what we're experiencing now. The real issue is that both the volume of music and the degree of commitment from many of those that are making it are completely different. In a recent interview, Tyler, the Creator, rallied.
Yeah, I think also the volume of music available too is like, because we say a lot like in K-pop, oh, there's too many, K-pop, they're flipping them like pancakes. Here too, like rappers, I like too many of these damn rappers. I don't know, like because as I said, social media, everybody can be a rapper now.
Yeah.
Like you don't need much, you just need to get lucky. Well, obviously to make something people like, but that also is kind of lucky too, because people like a lot of different random stuff, So that's how social media changed it. I feel like it's just too much right now. So like so much available that it's hard to stand out from the crowd.
Against what he saw as the major issues plaguing the industry, and all of them align with the degradation of not only hip-hop commanding the respect it used to, but the degradation of the rapper as the superhero-like figure.
I love this art form so much, bro, and there's so many out right now that aren't musicians that are getting treated like musicians because they make meme records. And these publicly will be like, I don't give a about music, I just do this for money. Get your bag, I love that. But like when every publication is like, hell yeah, let's put that out, a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 20-year-old gonna see that and be like, man, I don't really care about too. This is a quick bag. Now you taking up space for like me.
That
You
really
taking up
wanna be
space for
musicians.
people who really care about this art form. And like I don't like that.
Then he went in on the perils of social media, not only for the effects on a star's mystique, but how it changes how music is engaged with and received by modern audiences.
Because then I can understand him, because then the label is gonna tell him, hey, this is popular now, I need you to do this too.
Yeah.
And he's gonna feel it, so it's like,
Yeah,
what?
but that's exactly what I was saying with the availability, like what social media made everybody can be, and now here they just for money, not because they like rapping. It just is what it is.
Not used to. That's something I don't think any of us is used to. And when I signed up for this stuff, that wasn't even, not only wasn't the landscape, our brain wasn't even knowing that was coming. People are still adjusting. I'm adjusting to like, damn, everyone could see everything. You could just look up someone's address. And my was like, damn, I could know what my favorite artist is eating for breakfast and not feel weird about it, because every page, whether it's academic, shade room, or whoever is posting it, now the conversation of music, of art, is gone, because when artists put something out, the last thing they talk about is music. So you know what that does to a fan listening to music? If they see the person that made the music not give any like value to it, you think they gonna give a about the album? They gonna listen to it for an hour and be like mid. They don't even use the word right. That just means it's like average. People can't even articulate what they dislike about it. They just say mid and move on.
So what's the conclusion? Well, faced with too many challenges to overcome.
I mean, yeah, I think like oftentimes people use mid as trash.
But mid is not bad.
Mid is average. Like mid is just like a 6, maybe even 7, right? Trash is like 2, 3, 4. So like I do feel like a lot of people say, oh, this album is mid, and then they by that they mean like it's a 3, 4, you know, which is not.
And the reason why they do that is because it's a popular phrase.
Yeah, popular phrase. Yeah.
That today's hip hop fans will never experience what it was like to see your favorite rapper as a larger than life entity. But for those of us who lived it, we can cling on to that feeling, because truly.
Yeah, interesting point he's making. I never thought about it like that. I never thought that, okay, rap is on decline because of that mystique. But
can I see the comments?
Interesting. But I'm glad we can all agree that rap is on decline. That's the most important thing here.
The thing is, before what we would see, they would put it only on Drake. But it's more than just Drake.
As much as I don't care for Drake, I think he's the last hip-hop megastar.
Oh, wow.
Kinda. Nishi predicted that as society becomes more narcissistic, people will praise mediocrity because greatness would make them feel insecure. I believe this is spot on.
I see that, because you see all the hate like LeBron gets.
Kinda. Because we do see a lot of mediocrity praise. Like that's so noticeable to me in K-pop. It's ridiculous. Like most of K-pop groups are mid, and I use it in the correct sense that they're average. Like they're not trash, but they're not great. They're mid. But people, like, there's so many like fans. They're like worshiping the fuck out of them. It's wild.
And they'll bully you to.
Yeah, they bully you to
too.
worship it when it's like, no, it's mid. Like it's mid, and by mid is, I'm not saying it's bad. Again, it's average. Like it's cool, but it just doesn't stand out of the crowd. It's mid, and it's like that. This is a very interesting point. I never heard this saying, but I think that's a great point. We have been in a fast food era of hip hop for too long. These are the results. Social media has ruined society, period. I agree with that. I know. Yeah.
It done good too as well. It's just it's also
it changed things. Like a lot of, I feel like a lot of body issues is because of social media, because people see edited pictures, you know, the body dysmorphia.
Before social media, we would see edited like photography, like on the magazines.
Yeah, but not everybody read magazines. It wasn't like up in your face. It wasn't all day, every day. You buy magazine once a month because it comes out once a month. Usually, sometimes maybe every 2 weeks, but it depends on the magazine. So you buy it once a month, read it, put it down. That's it. You don't see it. And social media every day, you're bombarded by the ads, the big, the abs, big asses, you know, whatever. So if you're a guy, if you're a girl, it
I feel like it makes trends move faster.
That
with
definitely,
social media.
Definitely, yeah. Tyler talked about people using the word mid is so spot on. These dudes will listen to a track for 15 seconds and only deem it mid. Can ask them why they think so, and they won't even be able to tell you. It's what they don't like.
Yeah, but I think that's because nowadays the younger generation is harder for them to express themselves, because it would require your own individual thought. And I feel like with social media, people take on other people's personalities and their own thoughts and try to express themselves this way.
With mid, I wouldn't even say that there's something you don't have to like you something you don't like. I think for me, mid it would be like it's not that I don't like something, is there isn't that anything that I like. Like the mid is like that position where it's like there isn't really anything wrong with it, but there isn't anything like exciting about it. Like that's the mid. That's why it's like it's mid. Now, if there's something I don't like, then it's more like on the trash side. If I can say something specifically I don't like about this, and I'm like very like I don't like it a lot, that's trash. Now if I'm like, okay, like the song don't do nothing for me, that's mid because I'm apathetic about it. I could be fine without ever hearing it. So that's to me that's mid.
Okay, guys, what platform was this? This was very interesting.
Hip Hop Madness.
That was pretty cool. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. We'd like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord and Zoe's. Share as much kindness as possible.